I hate when people give 70%, but they want the life of somebody that's giving 120%. I challenge you, your life is where it is because of the percentage that you're giving. If you hit a tree 1,000 times in 1,000 different spots, the tree is not going to fall. But if you hit a tree 1,000 times in that same exact spot, she's going to come to the ground. Your problem is you did hit it 1,000 times, but in 1,000 different places. I need you to do me a huge favor. Stop trying to be deep. I need you to do the exact same thing every single day for the next 10, 15, 20 years and watch that tree come down. And watch you go from zero to a multi-million-dollar company. Nothing's changed, guys. I'm doing the exact same thing I was doing 20 years ago. I just keep doing it. And your problem is you're not intentional and deliberate. You wake up on Monday, you might be strong, but by Wednesday, are you hearing what I'm telling you? You're not intentional and deliberate. You are hoping that the best is going to happen to you, and the best never happens to you. You got to be intentional and deliberate, whether you're making money or not making money. You got to decide that you're going to do something, and you got to do it every Monday, every Tuesday, every Wednesday, every Thursday. The problem with some of you in this room, you're not intentional and deliberate. You're a good person that just hopes the good stuff is going to happen to you.
You still got work to do. Stay on that basketball court. Stay on that football field. All the homies texting and calling and trying to make you feel bad about being so focused. It's grind season, homie. It's not about today. It's about the future.
There's only two ways you can be. You can be the person who learns a little bit, who does a little bit, and then who decides that this really isn't for them and moves on to something else and repeats that cycle over and over and over again. Or you can be the person who's committed. You can be the person who says, this is going to fucking work no matter what happens. No matter how frustrated I get. No matter how angry I get. No matter what happens in the world. No matter what, I'm fucking doing this. Those are the people that are going to win.
You gotta stop telling yourself that you're doing enough. You have to do more. In life, it's never enough until you feel this overwhelming feeling of man, I'm outworking the crowd. I'm outworking everybody. I'm doing more. Once you get there, that's when you know you've done enough. You gotta do your best work when you're least motivated. So those days you know when to do it, you gotta second the up to do it.
People who do stuff consistently and on time, they surpass people who talented and gifted.
You guys have got to believe in yourself. Headstrong, mentally tough. It's the only way through the bullshit here in life. Winners, the difference between them and the spectators is that the winners have a belief that overrides the crowd's disbelief every single time. Their belief is so strong, even though they hit failure, they get knocked on the ass. They're finding the intentional fortitude to stand back up again, face that same challenge, learning from the previous mistakes, and make it happen. Winners fail a million times. What makes them a winner is that they believe it, they're headstrong. Nothing's gonna stop them. There is no excuse for not being the hardest worker. Yeah, someone might be bigger, stronger, faster, quicker, younger, whatever else, but there is no excuse to not be the hardest f***ing worker there. No longer are we gonna accept rhymes and society's rhyme the reason that we are average. Average is a weak mentality. We must believe it so much so that we're arrogant about it. We must be stopped for excellence.
The easy route never pays well. The only route in life that pays well is the hard route.
You working out, you want to die. Feel the death happening in you. Feel the pain happening in your legs as you rep out one more squat. Because it'll be all the more pleasurable when you reach the inevitable other end of the spectrum where you're laying in your hammock, sipping on a protein shake. Boy, I really went hard. I really went hard on that set. I really went hard in school. I really went hard in my career. I really went hard in life. Go hard. Die hard.
Life can throw you some curves. And it's not just the things that you see coming, but sometimes it's the things that you didn't see coming that hit you out of nowhere, that set you back in such a way that it seems like you can't get over. And you've reached your limit and your bandwidth is full. And you already said, I can't take another thing. And then out of nowhere, here comes something you didn't see coming and you're in it.
And in your homes, somewhere in your heart, these words are echoing. Am I going to make it?
When you get into a tight spot and everything goes against you until it seems that you cannot hold on for a minute longer, never give up then, for that is just the place and time that the tide will turn. There are times when your energy feels so depleted that you want to give up, that it looks just totally impossible. And I can tell you from my own personal experience, don't give up then. That's when you've got to fall forward, when life is kicking dirt in your face. Don't give up then. That's when most people turn back.
As long as you're alive, there is hope.
You're still alive. You're still here.
It's never too late, and it's never too dark, and we can always turn things around.
There's going to be bad days, there's going to be dark days, but you got to embrace it, because that pain is what makes you stronger.
Pain is the high cost of growth. If you want to grow up, you want to be mature, there is no way to do it without pain. You can't grow up on easy street. And the very thing that discourages you is the very thing that develops you.
What I need you to do is I need you to find a reason to keep going. And if you can find a reason to keep going, I know you're strong enough to do it, because you're human. And every human has what it takes to get past whatever they're going through if they decide to push through it. Tragedy and trials come to everybody. Only the strong survive.
You have the opportunity to show the world what you are really made of.
And there are those of you were this close, but you compromised. You let your feelings get the best of you. And you let a little pain stop you from your dream. Girl, you was there. You was running your business. You was there. I didn't quit because people didn't understand. I worked harder when people didn't support me. You better grind, because if you don't, you will be stuck at that adversity for the rest of your life. Whatever it is, you'll be stuck there. Why don't I get something for it? You ain't got to have the best head in life. You ain't got to start with the two-parent background. You ain't got to start with wealth. You ain't got to start with your parents graduated. It's not the hand that you dealt. It's how you play your hand. When people die or people get sick or something happens in your life, if all you're doing it for is a car and a house, that can stop you. But if you're doing it for your mom, for your siblings, for your family, for your community, nothing can stop you. You cannot be broken. When you have an intrinsic goal, when you're doing it because you value it, when you're doing it because you can, when you're doing it because it represents who you are, when it's internal, nothing can stop you. No mountain, no trial, no tribulation, nothing can stop you when it's deeper than just money and stuff. I can. I will. I must. It's going to rain sometimes. I will. You're going to feel discouraged sometimes. I will. No matter what the obstacle, I will. I will. I will. I must.
What's that thing that's gonna pump you up and get you over that mountain? What's gonna pump you up and get you past that disease? What's gonna pump you up and get you past bankruptcy? What's gonna pump you up and get you to the other doggone side? Despite the circumstance, you can win. Despite the adversity, you can win. I'm trying to tell you, you can win. I'm trying to tell you, I don't care how big the giant is, you can win. I want you to go in confidence that you've never had before. And every giant in your life, slay him. You go back and slay him. Don't kill him, slay him.
My glory doesn't happen in front of a crowd. It doesn't happen in a stadium or on a stage. There are no medals handed out. It happens in the darkness of the early morning, in solitude, where I try, and I try, and I try again, with everything I have to be the best that I can possibly be, better than I was yesterday. Better than people thought I could be, better than I thought I could be. Then claim one victory that no one can ever take away from me, ever. A victory that is earned every single day. A victory of determination and will and discipline. A victory achieved because I will not stop.
It's the character of who you are. It's not the title that makes you. It's not the success that makes you. The character defines the success, defines the fame, and it starts right there. Championships aren't won in the theater or the arena. They're won in the thousands of hours in the training room, in the labs, in the 5 a.m. runs, and it's raining, when everyone else is sleeping. That's when it's won. How you hold yourself in the small things of life. Build the character winning blocks of the things that we'll remember for. Do the job right or don't do it at all. That's the same person who has his hand raised on the podium one day. Same motherfuckers. It's how you look at something. If your name's attached to it, then you do it right. The best of your ability every single time.
Some of y'all so caught up on the game that you don't get it. It is in practicing. It is in eating right. It is in making good decisions that you look a certain way. It is how you practice. It is what you do that makes you look like you look. It is the process of the grind that shapes you and forms you. It's not the game. And that's why most of y'all get beat in the game or make mistakes in the game, because you think grinding is what happens when the sun comes out. You think grinding is what happens when the lights come on. You think grinding is what happens when people get in the stage. That's not grind. The real grind is in the dark when nobody sees you, when nobody knows what you're doing. When you studying without coach, when you putting in those extra reps, when you watching those videos and you getting inspired, when you change your music, it's the process that makes you sweet. And the problem with some of y'all is you want somebody else to support your dream. It's yours. If you wanted to have it, get your butt up and make it happen. If you wanted to have it, rise and grind, because this is my time. Tomorrow, tomorrow, tomorrow. Ain't no such thing as tomorrow. We only got today.
It begins right now with no one looking, man. And how you hold yourself, how you see yourself. What do you do when no one's watching? If you do it then, I guarantee you, you'll be doing it when everyone's watching.
Stop letting yourself down. Stop breaking all these promises you make to yourself about how you're really going to do it this time. This is the last time I give in to that addiction. If you don't truly mean it, don't bother saying it. But if you truly do want to change, you've got to decide wholeheartedly that I will not deviate from the plan. I will stick to it no matter what happens. I will execute every day of my life on that goal, on that vision, as if my life depends on it.
Stop taking your life so casually. You've got to get serious about making the changes you want to see. Don't leave room in your life for laziness. Don't leave room for slacking off. Don't leave room for sickness. Don't leave room for excuses. Don't leave room for just this one time. No!
You've got to have the mindset of a machine, and that machine cares about one thing and one thing only: executing on the goal. If it doesn't support your goals, you cut it out of your life. If you know it will help you achieve the vision, you double down on it.
Disciplining your mind every single day is what leads to success. Discipline is what breaks through all the infinite excuses and reasons you come up with on why you can't do it. The more you do those hard tasks you gotta do, facing those hard things and destroying them, executing on the mission, your daily life will get better and better.
You have to reach a point where you don't let your bullshit feelings control the outcomes. You get it done whether you want to do the work or not. You don't have time to be in your feelings. The weights won't lift themselves. The work won't complete itself. The books won't study themselves. You have to do it, and you have to do it now.
And while you're sitting there thinking, hesitating, debating in your head whether you should go do it or not, you're falling behind. Get your up and get to work. The more you grind, the more you execute on the mission. You will separate yourself further and further from the crowd of average people who would rather spend their time coming up with reasons why they can't get it done today. You don't just work out once, study once, invest once, and change your life overnight. No, you have to be consistent. You have to never let your foot off the gas, never stop, never quit. You have to do that thing you gotta do every day of your life. You may hate it some days, but you gotta do it relentlessly and know that in the end, it'll all be worth it. The sacrifices you're making today for a better tomorrow are gonna pay off. But if you quit, if you let up, it's not gonna happen. Stay focused and stay on track. Don't let anyone or anything pull you off the plan. You have got to stop rationalizing. Stop making excuses. Stop telling yourself little watered down assessments of where you're really at. Tell yourself the truth. And the truth is that you do have the time. You do have the money. You do have the support. You do have the willpower and the discipline to get it done. And when we're being honest with ourselves, we know that we can all do much more than what we're doing right now. We can all give more to life than what we are right now.
So you gotta decide within yourself that you're gonna start working harder than ever. You're gonna start going to work earlier. You're gonna be the last one to leave there. You're gonna try harder than anyone else would even dare to. Other people will think, why would you even bother doing that much? Why do you try so hard? You're doing too much. But they won't understand. Pay no attention to them. They'll never get it because they don't have that mentality. When you're you keep striving for that highest level possible, and you don't stop until you get it.
Get in the habit of doing more than what anyone is willing to pay you to do. Because that's where success is born. It's going beyond people's expectations and amazing them. You shock the world with your results.
And that work begins right now with no one looking. It's what you do in the shadows, in those early mornings, late nights, where you're grinding away on those tasks and goals. Those moments are what bring it into the light, where all eyes are on you.
The price for greatness must be paid every day. And that price is discipline, sweat, suffering, enduring, consistency. And at the end of it all, you win.
Most of the time, we don't have someone there to keep us in line, to make us do push-ups and give us a good, swift kick in the ass when we slack off. What we have to do is we have to be our own sergeant, to hold the highest standards and allow no slack.
Your problem is you start something, you stop it. You start something, you stop it. You feel good, you do it. You don't feel good, you quit. People who do stuff consistently and on time, they surpass people who talented and gifted.
All men are created equal. Some just work harder.
And the problem with some of y'all is you want somebody else to support your dream. It's yours. I don't owe you a dime. It's your dream. If you want it to happen, get your butt up and make it happen. If you want it to happen, rise and grind. If you want it to happen, you're going to have to do what I do, and that's get up at 3 o'clock in the morning. And you're going to have to act like you got all the energy in the world. Why? Because this is my time. This is my moment. Tomorrow. Ain't no such thing as tomorrow. We only got today. It is the process of the grind that shapes you and forms you. It's not the game. And that's why most of y'all get beat in the game or make mistakes in the game, because you think grinding is what happens when the sun comes out. You think grinding is what happens when the lights come on. You think grinding is what happens when people get in the stage. That's not grind. The real grind is in the dark when nobody sees you. When nobody knows what you're doing. When you studying without coach. When you putting in those extra reps. It's the process that makes you sweat. It has everything to do with what time you wake up. It has everything to do with how you eat. It has everything to do with how you work out, how you prepare. It has every single thing to do with how you think. And if you're gonna be the best, the cream of the crop, you gotta be it, not talk about it. It has to consume you. It has to take over you. That when I see you, without even knowing you, I ought to be able to look at you, and from your ethos, I ought to see you are the best of the best. I ought to know what you're doing without you saying one word. It ought to illuminate from you. No alarm clock needed. My passion wakes me up. My drive wakes me up. My determination wakes me up. My ability to be, do, and act whatever I want, it wakes me up. What wakes you up? What drives you? Why are you playing this game? Is it just a game? Or do you eat it? Do you sleep it? Do you drink it? Have you possessed the game? And what will separate those of you from the rest is what you do. You take advantage of this opportunity. You let everything else go. You eat different. You study different. You practice different.
It's one thing to talk about your destiny. It's one thing to dream about your destiny. But it's another thing to wake up when you know you're supposed to wake up. To say no to that party, saying no to quit when you still got 100 more shots to make, saying no when your boss said stop, but you put in 50 more push-ups. You can't just talk about it, you gotta be about it.
Yep, it's tough, it's hard. I'm not telling you it's gonna be easy to sacrifice. I'm not telling you it's gonna be easy to grind. I'm not telling you it's going to be easy, but I can tell you this, it will be worth the sacrifice if you can grind your way through it.
Some of you right now You're in the worst pain you've ever been in. Your marriage is falling apart. Your family is falling apart. That sickness in your life is getting worse. You've failed over and over and over again, and you don't know what you're gonna do now. And you reach a point where you're not sure how you can possibly get out of this mess.
And it's not one thing that breaks you. It's everything. It's everything you've been through. All the years before, compounding together. And just to find out that the things are never going to stop coming at you, that finally brings you to the point that you say, I'm not sure if I want to get up out of bed today, if all I'm going to face is another fight.
And this is the point that can either make you or break you. This moment right here can become your biggest turning point for the better, or the moment you lose everything.
The choice is yours of what it becomes. You choose the outcome by your choices. Do you give up, or do you get up?
When you're in that hole and surrounded by darkness, you have to remember, this is not the end for you. You can still change your circumstances. It doesn't matter what's happened, how much pain you've endured, who's betrayed you, what's gone wrong. The only thing that matters right now is what are you gonna do about it?
Things are always gonna go wrong in life. That's a part of it. But you have to become more powerful to be able to push through those battles. Things won't get easier, so you gotta get stronger.
You have to find the reasons that make it worth fighting for. Because if you can find a why, you can get through anyhow. If you're doing it for a car or a house, you will quit. But if you're doing it for your family, if you're doing it for your spouse, if you're doing it for what it represents about you, you can make it through anything. And if you can pull yourself together, if you can find a way out of no way, if you can find opportunities where most would see dead ends, if you can find life where others see death, you can make your dreams, your goals, your vision a reality.
When there's a will, there's a way. When you want something bad enough, you'll find a way and you'll stop at nothing to reach it.
I need you to remember that it's always darkest before dawn. I need you to remember that you are still here. You are still alive. And as long as you're still alive, as long as you're still breathing, you have another chance to come back once again. When life punches you and clobbers you to the ground, it's your job to find the strength, find the intestinal fortitude to pick yourself up and fight back. Life's not always going to be easy. Sometimes you got to fight for what you know you deserve.
It takes believing in an outcome that is in your favor. And make no mistake about it, most people won't see it for you. Most people will tell you to give up. Most people will think you're wasting your time. But you are not most people. You've got to believe in the possibilities for you and your future so strong that it outweighs anyone else's opinions. You need to have something that knocks you to your knees. That's the only way you ever discover what's inside of you.
Life doesn't give you what you want. Life gives you what you'll accept. If you'll accept failure, hardships, disappointment, that's exactly what life's gonna give you. If you wanna win, you gotta show up and demand success and fulfillment and happiness for yourself.
In spite of all those feelings every day of wanting to give up, of quitting, of throwing in the towel, in spite of all that, it's going to be your ability to somehow, some way, to muster up the courage to flush that out, to reach down deep and find something inside of you that will allow you to go for it one more time.
Adversity defines true character. Don't quit, don't collapse, don't faint, don't give in. Either way you go, you gotta fight.
All of us, we got the same ending. We're gonna die. So if you know you're gonna die, why are you playing it safe? I'm gonna build something. I'm gonna make something happen. I am not gonna live and die and not leave anything in the earth as a sign that I was here. I'm gonna build something. I'm gonna harness this challenge and turn it into my triumph because I will not stop.
There's all kinds of different ways to break. You can break physically, you can break mentally, you can break your heart, you can break your spirit, and none of those are fun, and all of those are gonna leave a mark. But the mark that they leave can be the mark of victory, or it can be the mark of defeat. When I'm broken, I relish it. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna use it. Because if I'm broken, then I just found my limitations. And until I know what my limitations are, how can I push them? How can I get better? Once I feel it, once I see where I was broken, then I can attack that weakness. I can fill in that gap. I can reinforce that breach. If you break, it means it's time to fortify your will to make it stronger. Because every time you break, and in every way that you break, while it's a chance for you to give up and for you to fall apart, but there's also opportunity. There's opportunity to get stronger, and get smarter, and get faster, and get tougher, and get more stable, and get more resilient, and get better. When you break, you have the opportunity to show the world, the whole world, what you are really made of. The fight isn't over. The fight is just beginning. And as you crawl up and out of that dismal and wretched place, covered, and you're covered in blood and sweat and dirt and filth as you rise above what you were. And as you take the form of who you are supposed to be, you will see that in the very act of standing up, in the very act of fighting on, you will become and you will remain unbroken.
When you have a dream and you start working toward it and you share that dream that you have with other people, they're not going to see it like you do. They'll laugh at you. They'll think you're crazy. And sometimes you're going to think you're crazy too. You're going to question yourself.
It's hard. It's hard when everyone around you is doubting you and making fun of you and telling you to give it up, that you're wasting your time. It's very hard. But you know what? Every great successful person was ridiculed before they were revered.
Life is not easy. It is not. Don't try to make it that way. Life's not fair. It never was. It isn't now, and it won't ever be. Do not fall into the trap, the entitlement trap, of feeling like you're a victim. You are not. Get over it and get on with it.
Stop telling your visions to other people, because they're not going to see it. Why you think you keep imagining opening a business? Why you keep imagining graduating, getting a better job? Why do you keep imagining buying a house? Why do you keep imagining driving a really nice car? Why do you keep imagining getting rich one day? Why do you keep imagining that? Because the universe is talking to you. It's showing you something that it has for you.
Your perception has everything to do with how this year is going to work. It is not what you perceive about me. It's what I perceive about me.
Have opinions and feelings about yourself independent of the feedback. The day that you allow the opinions of the outside world to dictate the way you feel about yourself, It is the beginning of the end of you living a blessed and self-loving, secure life. It is not the car that I drive or any of the jewelry that I own or the size of my house that defines my self-worth. I'm hot. I'm hot. I'm hot when you don't think I'm hot. I'm amazing when you don't think I'm amazing. I love me even if you stop loving me. You can say the nastiest, meanest, evilest shit that you could ever conjure up. It will never change the way I feel about myself.
It's not what they say about you that matters. It is what you say about you that threatens your destiny. You will never be defeated by what they say about you. You will be defeated by what you say about you.
I am great, and I don't owe anybody an apology. I am phenomenal, and I don't owe anybody an apology. I am going to do great things, and I don't owe anybody an apology.
Stand up for your dream. Stand up for what you want in your life. You've got to talk to yourself day in and day out. You've got to say, yes, I can make it. The last chapter to my life has not been written yet. If you judge me now, you'll judge me prematurely. I'm still in the process of transforming my life. I'm still in the process of becoming. Yes, yes.
It's your dream. Nobody's gonna see it like you do it. It's your dream. Nobody's gonna feel it like you feel it. It's your dream. Nobody's gonna be as dedicated to it as you are. It's your dream, and they don't have to understand, and they don't have to like it, and they don't have to do it. It doesn't make a difference. It's your dream, and you, my friend, have been given the task to make it happen, and you can't let anything stop you from doing what you were called to do. I was created to do great things, and I will no longer ask others for their permission. I don't expect you to believe in my dream like I believe in my dream. And the problem with some of y'all is you want somebody else to support your dream. It's yours. I don't owe you a dime. It's your dream. If you wanted to have it, get your butt up and make it happen. If you wanted to have it, rise and grind. Because this is my time. This is my moment. Tomorrow. Ain't no such thing as tomorrow. We only got today. I need specifics. What are you doing on Monday? What are you doing on Tuesday? What are you doing on Wednesday? You need to be very specific. It's time to put your pieces together of your puzzle. I put mine together. I put this life together. I made this happen. Nobody helped me to get here. I had to get up. I had to go to class. I had to read. I had to study. I had to write. I understood that the dream is real, but the lifestyle is real. You gotta earn this. Let the dream strip you. Let it remake and mold you. Life gonna whip your butt. Life is gonna bully you. Stop crying. Be demanding. Let it hit you, but don't let it pump you. We all go through it. Some of you, though, you let your pain pump you. You let your pain make you quit. You have come too far to quit now. You have invested too much to quit now. You have lost too much to quit now. Get a reward for your pain. Don't cry about it. Don't whine about it. Get a reward for it. And for some of you, you stop dreaming. You dream for a week and you stop because things around you don't look good. You dream for a month, and when you get hit in the mouth, you quit and you give up. You dream for a while, and when people tell you crazy, when people tell you stupid, when people tell you can never get done, you stop dreaming and you go back to knowledge. And I dare you to use your imagination. I dare you when you're broke to use your imagination. I dare you when you're rich to use your imagination. I dare you under every single circumstance. Keep dreaming. Keep focusing on your dream. Keep going after the dream because that's where true success is.
Because of our mental conditioning, we unconsciously build a case on why we can't do something. You can't do that. You don't have any college training. You can't do that. You don't have the money. You don't have the contacts. It's a natural inclination for us to put ourselves down. See, we are born negative, I think, in a negative consciousness because we live in a negative world.
Don't let this negative world get to you. Don't let it win.
Stop beating up on yourself. You do it. I know you do it. I've done it.
Life is serious, and you have to be serious about taking care of your mental state.
So I'm saying learn to be your own booster. Start building yourself up. Start encouraging yourself. If you don't program your mind will be programmed because human beings are goal-oriented. Turn a deaf ear to people that all they can do is talk about how negative things are because they have bought into the consciousness of the world. Start listening to tapes on a daily basis to begin to recondition your mind, to retrain your thinking. Listen to things that can empower you, that can enable you to create a new reality for yourself and a new life for yourself. You might appear to be strange around most people, but you've got to learn how to tune out the critics outside and the critic inside. You ignore that inner voice and all of the external voices. Don't judge the possibilities for what you can do based upon the circumstances, because the circumstances won't determine who you are. Start saying, I can do this. I can make this happen. Come on, man, get yourself together.
You can do this. You can handle this. This is not a big deal. You're amazing. This too shall pass.
You can handle this. You just haven't figured it out yet. You can do this. Other people have done it. Doesn't take an Einstein. Take some seminars, workshops, read some books on how to manage a business. You've got your gifts. You've got your talents. Stay focused on what you're doing. Focus your energy.
That kind of talk, saying that to yourself, drives back the other voices of negativity that we all have.
You've got to be willing to prepare yourself and do the best you can. Take your best shot. Start working and developing yourself now and prepare yourself for what it is that you want, because you expect to get it.
Do you have the courage to believe in your own ideas? Do you have the courage to think something beyond where you are? Because if you can think, you can change, you can move, you can evolve, you can grow, you can become. You are one thought away from a great reformation in your life, one thought away from being a millionaire, one thought from overcoming. You are one thought away from the greatest experience you have ever had in your life. Your credit is not a problem. Your house is not a problem. Your situation is not a problem. Your thoughts are the problem. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Everything starts in the thoughts you think. If you think little, you go little. If you think weak, you go weak. If you think up, you go up. One thought. Look out from where you are. What you see is what you'll be. If you see nothing, you'll be nothing. So now is the season for you to move distractions, confusion, turmoil out of the way, to find a peaceful place where you can meditate and think, what am I going to do at this season of my life? What could I do with the circumstances of my life? What would you do with what you have to make it better? One thought delivers you from hopping around in the failures of your past to standing up like a man and say, I'm going to be defined by what's in front of me and not what's behind me. You will not beat me because I think myself to be strong enough to fight you back off of me.
How much time you really waste? For real.
How much time do you have left? When you start thinking about that, we don't know.
Right now, we have the most valuable asset on earth on our side, time, but it's running out. And to make that first step towards greatness is the hardest step.
And you're gonna have to fight and fight and fight and fight. And most of you won't be successful, not because you can't do it, but you can't outlast your old you long enough to get to your new you.
Because let's face it, when the alarm goes off, you got your head on that soft pillow, it's all nice and cozy and warm in there, you do not feel like getting up. You should not. That snooze alarm is the dream killer. When you press that snooze button, you're killing your dreams.
Every single day when you wake up, you got two options. You can look at the clock and hit the snooze. You can look at that snooze button, boom. You can hit the snooze button and go back to bed and dream about what you want to have. Or you can look at that snooze button, kick that clock and get up and go pursue your dreams.
It's so easy. So easy to put things off. So easy to say, you're going to do it tomorrow. Well, I want you to reprogram your brain and tell yourself that tomorrow is not a viable option. Tomorrow doesn't work. You do it today. You get it done today. That's what you do.
If you can get through to doing things that you hate to do, on the other side is greatness.
No more excuses. No more hesitation. No more procrastination. No more negotiation. No more. Go on the attack. You don't stop until it's done.
Don't expect front row seats if you're giving nosebleed effort. Everybody want to win. Everybody want to be on the winning team. Everybody want to win, but everybody don't want to work. Everybody wants a reward, but everybody don't want to work. We all got to work. I got to show up and show up 120. every time. Where much is given, much is required, but you're gonna get the rewards. Rewards come after you work, not before. The only place where success comes before work is in the dictionary. We're not gonna wait, we gonna do work. We gonna put in work. Because every time you put in work, you get the same consequences. You get paid, you get rewarded. Discipline is you do it so long and so hard and you're so passionate about it that even when you don't feel like it, you still operate at the highest level.
Beast mode is I will not stop when others stop. I will not quit when it gets hard. I will not complain. I will not worry. I will not fret. I will find a way when there is no way. I will make a door when there is no door. I will create a window when there is no window. I will create finance when there is no finance. I will find an opportunity when it doesn't exist. But I will not be defeated because I know what my desires are and I know what I deserve.
The reason why you stop and you start and you stop and you start is because the goal is not meaningful enough. You don't have enough skin in it. You don't have nothing to lose if you don't do it. What I'm telling you is you got to create the type of scenario that if it doesn't work, you lose everything. And because you cannot lose everything, you got to make it happen.
If you just decide, I'm going to keep my word. If I say something, I'm going to do it regardless. Being more considerate, more trusting, more disciplined. You owe it to yourself to give it your best effort. If you get in the habit of being mediocre or doing just enough to get by, you're not hurting anybody but you. You're cheating you. If you follow it through, if you keep your commitment to the commitment, you'll feel strong and powerful. That kind of commitment, that kind of spirit, that kind of personal power, that kind of vision is in you.
Decide to be better, decide to get better, decide to get after it.
Life, at times, throws at us battles we never enlisted for. Battles that arrive unannounced, unchosen, and certainly unanticipated. These times, that test your limits. Will this pain make you or break you?
Life is not always easy. In fact, some of you today, you're hearing this, and you're going through the toughest season of your life. There will be seasons where we will suffer. There will be seasons of real pain.
You're going to want to feel like falling apart. You're going to want to just lay down and at times.
And the question is, how will you respond in those moments? This choice is what will determine the rest of your life.
You're not going to see any way out of this misery. But if you can hold on to hope that this thing you're facing will pass, you can find a way through it.
It might not look like it right now, but you can get through it. You might not have the solution figured out yet, but you can get through it. You might not see any light at the end of the tunnel at this moment, but you can get through it.
You're tougher than you think you are. You can go through more than you think you can. Think about all you've been through already. Every single one of those problems you faced, you made it through. You made it to this moment right now.
And whatever's in front of you won't destroy you. It may hurt, it may be painful, it may test you harder than anything else has, but you have what it takes to make it through.
And when you're going through all that, I want you to remind yourself that it is worth it. It's worth fighting. It's worth believing. It's worth pumping yourself up and talking to yourself positively. It is worth the effort. Because when you get to the other side, there's gonna be so much more for you.
And there's gonna be a greater version of yourself that you didn't even know existed because you went through that. The person you become in this process of fighting for your life, for your family, for your loved ones, for your dreams is greater than you could imagine. These tragedies and trials are what build you up. Every time you face rejection or encounter pain and keep fighting forward, you become stronger.
And it's not about what's happening around you, it's about what's happening inside of you. Just because you feel afraid doesn't mean you have to be afraid. Just because you feel discouraged doesn't mean you have to be discouraged. Just because you have fear doesn't mean fear has to have you.
The sentence out of your mouth is a story that you are putting out into the universe. I'm not gonna make it. I quit. This is too hard. Business is never coming back. We've lost too many people. I've made too many mistakes. I'm a failure. Nobody can help me. I've done too many bad things.
I don't know what's coming out of your mouth, but if it's anything like that, it's killing you. And as you continue to say those things, as you continue to declare it, don't be surprised when it becomes true in your life.
You have to make sure that whenever you feel those negative instincts, you have to consciously catch yourself thinking that and replace it in your mind with a positive thought. You start fighting back against your mind. No, I can make it. No, I'm not done yet. I can handle this. I can do this. And in the end, I'm gonna win.
The greats of the world, they get to it and then go through it. They don't stop at difficulties. And the harder it is, the better, because the payoff will be just that much sweeter.
The battles you face are indicators of the blessings that await you. If you're facing opposition, it means you're building something worthwhile. People do not challenge those who are not creating progress.
You're tired. Your mind is urging you to quit, but you cannot. You've come too far. You've invested too much to give up now. Don't let the pain break you. Let it redefine you. Your pain is not permanent. Whatever you're dealing with now will not be a problem forever, as long as you keep moving and keep making progress. You are bigger than your problems. They're not tougher than you. You can get through them.
If you lose your job, if you go through a divorce, if you're coming back from addiction, if you're coming back from failure after failure after failure, and disappointment after disappointment after disappointment, you must know within yourself, there must be a deep inner knowing of your true identity. You gotta know you are a winner. You were born to win. It is your right to win. It is your right to have your dream. You don't get these ideas unless you also have the capacity to make it happen.
You need to remember, this is not the first time you cried. This is not the first time you were short of breath. This is not the first time you didn't see a way clear. This is not the first time you were hurt. This is not the first time your heart was broken. This is not the first time you didn't have enough money. This is not the first diagnosis that came up from behind.
And you gotta declare to yourself and the world, I'm gonna live to tell the story. This too shall pass, and I will remain. I'm not gonna quit. Every one of my burdens, there's a blessing on the inside of it. Just keep coming back. No matter what happens, no matter how dark it gets, no matter what you lose along the way, just keep showing up. If you got nothing left to give, just show back up. Half of life is just showing up. And I'm telling you right now, don't give up. I'm telling you right now, don't give in. Get through it. And if you can get through it, if you can work through your pain, I'm guaranteeing you, on the other side is a reward.
You have been disappointed over and over and over again. And every time you try, you come up short. Sickness is cyclical. It comes around, it goes around. You're well for a little while, and then it's the same thing all over again, but this time it's only worse. Because now, not only are you back where you started, but you have less hope that it is ever going to be different, because you've cycled through it one more time just to realize, well, I guess I'm just a cynical person. Well, I guess I'm just a negative person. Sickness becomes normal to you, and it starts to be easier for you to just accept the condition than to challenge it. Because to challenge the condition means to risk disappointment. And some of us have tried, got blocked. Tried, got blocked. Tried, got blocked. And now people see you and they assume that you don't care. No, I care. I cared, and I cared so much, but they didn't care back. And I tried so hard and I still got looked over. And don't you know it's hard when your expectation has been damaged by disappointment? It's a slow damage. It's a slow tearing of the muscle fibers. It's a slow deterioration of your hope by disappointment. It is not one event that creates it. It's over and over. I tried and I tried and I smiled and I stayed and I disciplined and I showed up and I didn't care. And the man has finally gotten to a place where he is tired of trying.
See, life is rough, ladies and gentlemen. It's rough.
things that's going to happen to you in life, ladies and gentlemen, make it okay. I can change how I respond to it. I can become upset, nervous, tense about it, weak about it, or I can say, it's okay. Don't go through life feeling like you're powerless, victims of people that are powerless. You're not powerless. You are powerful. You direct the power in your life. Whatever your life is right now, it is a duplication of your consciousness. It's a result of how you have decided to use your power. That's all it is. That's not who you are. That's just a perverted use of your power that you aren't satisfied with. And you've got the power to change that. But you don't know what has happened to me. It really doesn't matter what has happened to you. See, the only thing that really matters is what are you going to do about it? That's all that matters. That no matter what you do to me, how cold and callous you are to me, lack of sensitivity, how cruel you might be to me, you're not going to change me.
It's the obstacles in our life. It's the hardships. It's the mountains that we climb that make life worth living. But the mountain's not supposed to stop you. Your mountain has the materials for your miracle.
Your conditions are not always in your control. You don't always get to decide what kind of skies you face. There are some things that are outside of your control, but your courage is in your control.
Take that leap of faith. Trust yourself and know within yourself that everything is going to be all right.
There is something that I learned through what I went through that made me who I am. There's a purpose for it. I'm not a hostage.
You have to make a decision that every experience is my education. And I'm going to discover the opportunity for me to grow and for me to get better. I'm telling you, I've already made up my mind that I know I will fall down. I know that I will stumble, but I already see myself getting back up. Therefore, I'm never down. I'm either up or getting back up. I will learn from this thing.
The harder the battle, the sweeter the victory. Oh, it's sweet to you. It's good to you. Why? See, when it's hard and there's a struggle, see, what you become in the process is more important than the dream. That's far more important. The kind of person you become, the character that you build, the courage that you develop, the faith that you're manifesting. Oh, it's something that you get up in the morning, you look yourself in the mirror, you're a different kind of person. You walk with a different kind of spirit. People know that you know what life is, that you have embraced life. You knew it was hard, but you did it hard.
What controls our focus controls our life. And everything's trying to get our focus all the time, right? The advertiser's trying to get our focus, your phone's ringing, in your pocket it's buzzing, and that buzz is either your phone, or it's an email, or it's a text. There's this constant something trying to get control of our focus. But what you focus on determines your destiny in your life. So if you don't take control of it, somebody else will.
If I don't finally get my focus in check, if I keep wandering around distracted, if I keep looking at every new thing that pops up, if I keep trying every single new opportunity, if I keep saying yes to everything, if I keep listening to everybody's complaints, and if I keep doing whatever they ask me to do, at some point, you'll lose your life.
You can lose track of the long-term goal. It fades from your vision. It slips from your mind. But I don't accept that. I want that long-term goal to be so embedded in my mind that I never lose sight of it, ever.
You need to have a mission for what you're doing today. You should figure out what is it you desire in life and figure out the steps to get there and start working a plan to get there and minimizing everything else. Getting very clear on the mission, and working the plan. Everything else, guess what it gets? A no.
Every day, do something that moves you toward that goal, that keeps that goal alive and in sight and in focus. However small or insignificant that step might seem, take it, do it, make it happen.
Where will you be in your business and your life in 36 months? Not because you hope, because you decide. If there's something you once envisioned and now it's real, it's because you focused on it continuously, didn't you? When you focus on something continuously, something magical happens. You get insights, don't you? You overhear a conversation and you hear something you wouldn't have heard if you didn't have that outcome or goal that you wanted so badly.
What are the things that are stealing your focus? Who are the people that are stealing your focus? And begin to eliminate these distractions. Get laser focused and obsessed on what you want. Be starving and hungry to get it. Be desperate to get it. The combination of desperation and hunger with laser focus over an extended period of time is the formula to be great at something.
The question you want to ask yourself is, what do I want? The target is not the activity. The activity can change. It's what's the result I'm after. Clarity is power. The more clear you are in specifically what you want, the faster your brain can get you there. Because your brain's like a servo mechanism in a missile. It locks on the heat signature, what does it do? It moves and follows it. That's the way your brain is if it knows the outcome, if it knows the result.
You cannot accomplish what you have not focused on. If you're not focusing on it, it can't happen. You're so focused on everything else but you, and you don't realize you are what's gonna blow you up. You are what's gonna change your situation. You are what's gonna take you to the next level. Stop focusing on 4 things at once, and I need you to concentrate on 1 thing at a time. And most of you in this room, you can't give up 6 months. You can't give up 8 months. You can't let stuff go for a few weeks. Like you can't let girls go. Some of you just can't let boys go. Some of you just can't let parties go. Let it go. If you want to be successful, if you want to dominate in the area, you got to let everything go but that thing you pursuing. You can't chase 2 rabbits and catch both of them. So you put your attention on one and go after it. You got to stay focused. Stay focused. Stay focused on the goal. Champions are focused on the goal. They don't have time to be doing stuff that's not going to help them toward the goal. We wake up and grind. Winners win. I focus on winning. Eye on the tiger. I want you to be so focused. I want you to be so concentrated that you block out all noise, that you block out all sound. You got to get to that point like you like that eagle. You know that eagle that's 100 and some odd feet in the air, and that eagle is flying around, and all of a sudden it looks down in the Atlantic Ocean and it sees its prey, and all of a sudden, bam! All that eagle does is one time, it brings out its wings. It shows its face toward where it's going. It puts its head down, and boom, it dives down. It doesn't look to the right. It doesn't look to the left. It doesn't look up. It doesn't look further down. It looks straight at its prey, and it goes, pow, straight down into the Atlantic Ocean. Straight down, eyes focused, arms out steady, and bam, it scoops up its prey, and it keeps on going. And I'm telling you, if you're gonna blow up, if you're gonna get to the next level, you gotta stay focused. You gotta learn how to concentrate. What makes a person average is their focus. And so what you're focusing on throughout the course of the day, it has to change. What you're looking at, what you're reading, what you're watching, the conversations you have. You must now be focused on your why, and you must be focused on your dreams. You must be focused on your goals. When you are great, you don't focus on a week. When you are great, you don't focus on a month. When you are great, you don't focus on a year. I'm not saying the same thing wrong with planning, but what I'm talking about is you concentrate on the 24-hour that's in front of you and you nail it. I want you to focus on here right now. Don't you worry about when you get home. You concentrate on this opportunity. You don't worry about tomorrow. You concentrate on this opportunity with all your might, with all your soul, with all your heart. You focus on this, and tomorrow will take care of itself. If you would just believe that your day coming, that the sacrifices you are making today, they gonna pay off. But if you do not believe, it ain't gonna happen.
A lot of us have big dreams, big goals. And when you have goals that are maybe outside your reach, you have to know that getting to that goal, you're gonna have a lot of bad days, a lot of setbacks. Failure is going to happen. So how fast do you get up from that? But the biggest key to success in anything you do is you gotta have an unlimited supply of fire, this drive and passion that I'm going to be somebody. It has to be there, because on all those bad days and all those days you don't want to do stuff, you have to be your own motivator, your own coach, your own trainer, your own everything. You have to come into work ready to go. You may have failed miserably yesterday. Be like, man, you just lost everything. How the hell are you just staying motivated? Because this is what it takes. This is what it takes.
When you decide acting in your best interest, you're going to lose some friends. Everybody's not going to approve of you. There's some people that won't like you. Who do you think you are? You're arrogant. What do you think you can do? You think you can get away with that? You're selfish.
Get away from these people that's in your life that ain't doing nothing. Get away from people in your life that's hating. Get away from them. Get away from them.
You ever heard said one spoiled apple will spoil a whole barrel? One negative person can spoil your whole life. Leave the flakes alone. People that are seriously not serious.
Don't ever let somebody tell you you can't do something. If you have a dream, you have to protect it. When people can't do something themselves, they want to tell you you can't do it. Don't let these negative people turn you away from what you want. Just stay focused on where you want to go.
If you can just keep hope alive, you can make it. Because if you keep hoping, it is really faith. You just gotta transpose it into I hope this happened to I believe this can happen.
See, a lot of people have an idea or a dream and they give up on it. No, don't do that. Work your dream until it gets hot. Most things don't happen as soon as we think they should happen. Any number of things can happen to interrupt your flow. It's okay. Don't take it personal. Just acknowledge what's going on. It's called life, and keep on working on your dream, because this is your life. This is what you love. This is your passion. And feel within yourself that everything is going to work out for you. But you must be patient, persistent, and positive, no matter what.
When you grinding hurts. Grinding is a sacrifice. Grinding costs. When you're grinding and your body tell you hurt, you stop. When you hurt, you stop. When you feel pain, you stop. When you tired, you stop. When you disappointed, you stop. When somebody get in your ear, you stop. Some of you a beast until it's uncomfortable. You a beast when everything is going right, but sometimes stuff start happening where it's uncomfortable. You start to break, you start to bend, you start to fold. It ain't always gonna be the way you like it. The conditions ain't always gonna be perfect. But if you want this, if you really want this, you gotta learn to sacrifice. You gotta learn to give up to go up. Because skill can't get you past certain things. Agility can't get you. You gotta have mental toughness.
Now, whatever goal you have, you're gonna have some difficulties. You're gonna have some challenges. Long journey, long dark night. But when you hold on to your dream, don't let anybody kill it in you. When it doesn't make sense to anybody, including you sometimes, just hold on. Once you give yourself an opportunity to try and to stretch, you'll find out you can do more than you can ever begin to imagine.
And if you quit, if you falter, if you stop, all the pain will be for nothing.
You don't quit on me. You man up. You woman up. You get your life back. I need mental toughness. Be persistent. I mean, get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, even when you don't see results. You made a commitment to get up at 3, so you get up at 3. You do as many reps as you said you were going to do. You got to get to a point where you are locked into the process. So every day you do it on Monday. You come back and do it Tuesday. You come back and do it Wednesday. You come back and do it Thursday. You come back and do it Friday. You are persistent. You fall, you get right back up. Don't stop for a week. Don't stop for a month. Don't stop for a year. You fail a class, you go right back and take it again. Don't stop. Don't quit. Don't give up. Why? Muscle memory. You do it over and over and over. Every time you're getting better and better and better. And repetition deepens the impression in your mind. Those motor skills, you start implanting that thing. You do it over and over and over and over and over again. You start implanting stuff, and then boom, memory kicks in. When you come up against that thing, you gotta outdo that thing, and you can't do it when you get there. You gotta already make up in your mind before you get to that exam and pass that exam. You gotta make up in your mind when you talking to that singer. You gotta look at it before you even get to it. So don't you ever give up. As long as you got breath in your nostrils, don't you ever give up. Don't you ever give in, because I never told you it'd be easy. But with mental toughness, you can get it done.